Okay, the Bambu Lab X2D arrived today. Um, 1 day shipping, and we're going to unbox it. I don't have my wireless microphone, and I don't normally do a lot of these type of videos, so I don't know how good the quality is going to turn out, but we're just going to go through it. I'm sure there's lots of other videos out there, but we're gonna try to get started here and see what we can get done. I'm sure it's going to be the same as the P2S. Quick start guide. Toolbox. Just curious as to what all is in the toolbox. No extra hot end. Oh, well, there is one hot end and a nozzle. Sorry, one hot end and a sock, a wiper. Looks like there's two wipers. Yeah, there's two different types of wipers, looks like. And what else do we have in here? We have a scraper blade, the wrench. I don't know why there's kind of, there's a grease. We got, looks like maybe there's two things of oil and one tube of grease. And those are, so you got your cutter blades, wrench, some screws down in there, and everything else pretty much standard. It comes in these little kits. So let's set this out of the way. Just an empty cardboard. I keep all my boxes for at least 1 year, and if I get any more of these H2 series, I'm gonna actually have to get a storage building. So it looks like from here it's lifting this out of the box, which I'm going to have to move this back a little bit, and we're going to get out of the shot of the camera, but let me see if I can get this out. Alright, let me just check. Looks like that's it. Looks like I'm still in the frame there. I should probably set that up on the on the bench just to make it easier to work on. All right, let me raise this up here, and then I'll come back and get back set up once I get it up here on the bench. Okay, I've got it setting up on the bench, and I've just kind of, there's a big piece of tape that goes across. Just pull that tape off, and then this bag will just slide down some PTFE tubes. I'm going to see if I can get this plastic bag out from underneath here. I think what I'll do is try to pull it out from one side at a time, maybe. It's definitely a lot easier to handle than the H series are. All right, so we're going to start pulling off some of the tape here. Up the door, this should just slide off, if I remember correctly. Well, maybe not. Oh, there's a, I know what it is. You have to pull this flap from the inside. Forgot about that. Of course, it doesn't want to come off. Just got some of that sticky glue on it. Just pull it off, and then this part will slip back from behind this. Grab that tape and pull it, and that part will, then it'll slide off. This is something new they didn't have on the P2Ss on the handle. To set this glass out of the way. So this is an accessory box. got the screen. This is the LCD display. This is the Bambu extruder, which we'll need later. We'll go ahead and get it out now. That thing's pretty heavy. Of course, it's a servo motor. There's our 6-pin cable, power cord, and an external spool holder, which I'm probably not going to use right now. I don't usually use that. So that's really all that we really need out of the accessory box. So I can get that out of the way. Make sure we're still recording. Okay. Some more foam. I think this one back here, you have to kind of twist it. Yeah, that kind of came out. This one up here is being a little bit more difficult. I think it needs to slide forward. Takes just a little bit of work, but it came out. So I got one more piece that's in here, and you just kind of stuck up in there, just twist it to the side and it'll come out. And that'll come out afterwards. So will these. I don't believe, you know, those probably won't come out until we get the AMS out. Alright. So I've got all of that done. I'm going to spin it around a little bit. Also be very careful with the feet. These anti-vibration feet, you can pull them off if you're not careful. So on the back here, I know I'm probably going to be moving this over here because this is going to end up being on that side, and I have a riser that's going to set up here, and then I have a spool holder which goes into that. It's on that side. So I'll do that later. Got the connectors and the tube. So I think what I'm going to do right now, since there's really not a whole lot to do to this. I mean, obviously this is going to go in here. It's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, this one is I don't know if that's in all the way. I thought my other one went in a lot further than that, but maybe that's as far as it goes. I always try to keep these tubes as They're doing a lot better job, Bambu is, instead of just giving you a bunch of tubing. But this is pretty well, but I usually tie or put a little thing here behind this bracket to hold this perfectly straight coming out of that buffer. But I'm going to have a 4-to-1 adapter in here. Where's my bracket at? So this bracket right here is going to fit in here like this, and then a 4-to-1 adapter. Hopefully that's long enough. I may end up having to I may have to get a longer piece of tube for that. And then so we'll see on that. I'm not sure. I've also got printed out my 90-degree fitting for the exhaust here, which hooks to exhaust hose back there. Got filament, guide, filament guide tubes for the AMS. The heater vent cover and the fan diffuser, and some desiccant pods and other things already printed out, and a poop chute. Let's see if this fits. Should. Wish they would have put a little lip in there so you know exactly where to put that. When you get this back behind there, you're just kind of eyeballing it. I may have to go back in and make a modification to this to put a little lip or something on here. So you can get that out of alignment real easy. And if you don't get it in the right spot, when it comes out, it'll hit. I just printed this. I found it on Maker World. I thought, I'd give it a shot. It doesn't go all the way down to the ground, so you definitely have to. But anyway, I thought it would be neat. I was using something a little different on the P2S, but already had the magnets. So let's go. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stop the video for a little bit. I'm gonna get the AMS out. I may come back and once I get this turned around, show you where all the screws are at, and kind of go from there. So I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, I decided while I have this thing turned around, I'm going to go ahead and put the Bowden extruder on here. I also moved this piece from here. I didn't tighten this down all the way. I thought I did, but I didn't. Let's see if I got this one tightened down. Whether or not. Nope, I didn't. Actually, it acts like those screws are stripped out. I put this elastic band around here. This is come off of one of the cords. That just kind of holds these tubes, in there. What else did I do? I took the tape off here. I also measured. They say to do 22 millimeters, so I measured 22 millimeters and put a mark on there. It's probably just pushed all the way in, but that's what the instructions said, so that's what I'm going to do. So now, and I've got this headlamp which really helps for stuff like this, but we're gonna put this connector in and make sure it gets seated all the way in. I don't have good fingernails, and that's a little bit of an issue. I'm going to cheat a little bit. Don't do what I do. I'm just going to use this screwdriver to grab the back of the connector to make sure it gets fully seated. Alright, I believe that's fully seated now. And slide this piece back on. Which way did it go? That's a good question. I think it went like that. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't pay attention which way it came off. I don't think it came that way because that's hitting something. So it does look like it probably goes in one way. Like that. Okay. And then on this end, it tells you just to loosen up this nut, just you know, hand tight. It says to push that in, and actually it went in a little bit over 22, but it says push it all the way in, so I'm not sure why they tell you to, you know, to do that, but hey. And then you line these 4 tabs up, push it all the way in, and then I think it's supposed to push down. That's it. It's in there. So now you tighten up this nut, which I know y'all are not going to be able to see. It says tighten it up until you hear it start clicking. I heard no clicking yet. Oh, maybe it did. Yep, there it goes. All right. So, this PTFE tube goes into there, and we're pretty much set up on this side. So now, since I've got all this done, I can flip it back around. I just wanted to try to get as much stuff done back here as I can. This is just going to go up to the AMS. This is probably going to, I'm not sure yet if I'm going to run this to a AMS HT, or this will be flipped around. I don't have room over here to have a side spool holder. So the only other option would be to run a longer tube and go around and come back. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do that, so I have to wait till I get it flipped around. So I'm going to get this flipped around, and then I'll come back. That's kind of bright light there. Hopefully y'all can see that. Okay, just to pick up from where I left off, in case anybody is wondering, I took off these 2 screws, which are right here in the front, I lifted the AMS straight out the top, set it aside. There are 3 screws in the top of this bracket here that holds this down, and it's pretty tight down at the bottom, so what you have to do is kind of raise it up and then tilt it, and then you can just slide this out. Sorry, another tip, I keep all of my screws, all the packing material, that bracket for the AMS, I keep all of that stuff in case you ever have to pack it and send it back. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these 2 pieces here, and I'm going to cut loose these tie wraps and move the head over toward the center. And once I do that, I'm going to install the display, and then we'll probably be pretty much ready. I have to hook up the put the glass on and set the AMS up there, but I'll come back here in a minute. But the display is pretty self-explanatory. Just be careful when you're inserting, you know, this connector in. Make sure you get it lined up properly and get it fully seated. And the way this works is this goes up in here, goes in the slots, and then you push it to the left. So I'll be back in just a minute. One other quick note on these protective things here. What they're for is to hold that screw in the center. This piece is up inside, and what you do is this piece right here, you can actually depress this piece right here. You can mash in on that, so it's going to be on the back side. So you reach in there and you squeeze this, and then you pull down, and it'll come loose. And once you get it loose, and you just open it up and take it off the rod. Just thought I'd show that in case anybody has trouble getting it out. Okay, I got a few things done. As I explained, one other thing that I did forget to show was in the very back, in the center, there is 1 screw that holds the bed down. Don't forget to take that screw. It's marked with a red circle. You can use this larger supplied hex key for that. I cut the tie wraps off the carriage and around the tool head and moved it kind of into the center. I put the glass on. I put the display control panel on, and now I have the AMS here, and we're just going to take some of this packaging off here. That's all of that. Open it up, and we have a piece of foam in here. We have a box. Oh, this box is taped down in here, so and of course the box is, oh, I see. It's not really a box. It's just a cover. And I think this is the exhaust fan. Yeah, So this is not 3D printed. This is an injection molded part now. And there's the cable for the fan. I'm going to set those aside. In here you have to pull off this tape which holds the desiccant in. I don't use these. I've got no telling how many of these things I have for all the AMSs I have on all of my printers, but I put them in a sealed plastic bag, and I don't even take them out of their packaging. Make sure there's no dust in here. Everything looks good. I will be putting these on. These are, they call them funnel savers, but guide tubes. Might just go ahead and put them on right now. I cut my lengths on mine. I cut them to, I think it's 90 millimeters. I've got these on all of my AMSs, and they just snap on there, but once they're on there, you know, they're on there pretty good. One of the things that these things really help with when you have a roll of filament in here, especially when the filament starts getting down close to the end. I wish I had a roll here I could show you, but so your filament's down here, you know, pretty low, okay, almost to the end of the spool. When it starts getting close to empty, the angle at which your filament is coming from here and going straight into here. So your filament is coming in at an angle. I don't even have a piece of tubing that I could show you, but so what these do is, well, number one of the reasons why I like them is you got this nice thumb button here, which makes it really easy to operate the mechanism. But this will help guide the filament. So the filament's down here. This helps guide it into a nice gentle slope down into the funnel. It also helps sometimes to prevent tangles. So anyway, so that's that. And we're going to set this up on the top. I'm just doing this temporarily, just, you know, to hook it up and do the calibration. I actually have a riser back here, which I had on the P2S, which I'm gonna put it on here, but I don't know if that PTFE tube's gonna be long enough, so I'm gonna. And I've got to hook up the cable for the oh, this is what I was going to show you. These are the little bands, little elastic bands that go around these cables, and that's what I had used on the back. But I need to hook up the AMS. On my P2S, I have one of these. I don't know if I have room back there for this one. This one here was a failed print. Actually, the magnets didn't sit down flush, but this, you wind your cord around it, it's just magnetic, sticks on there. So I may put one of those on there, I don't know yet. Alright, I'm gonna get this hooked up, and I'll come back in a minute. We'll fire it up. Okay, got the I went ahead and put the exhaust fan on the back and hooked up my ventilation hose. I hooked the hose into the back of the AMS, the cable that goes from the AMS down to the buffer, the cable that goes from the fan up to the buffer, and I got all that plugged in, and we should be ready to turn it on. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, looks like it came up, so I'm gonna have to pause this while I put in my Wi-Fi. Be right back. Okay, I think I'm gonna end this video. It's doing its calibration. It's going to take 20-30 minutes probably to do that, and but it's switching between nozzles and cleaning them and doing all that. It's fixing to do the bed leveling and everything, and then later I'm going to put my riser on there and stuff. But for all intent and purposes, this is the unboxing and setup. I did not go over all the functions on the screen. You can go to the Bambu Lab wiki. It's pretty self-explanatory though. Just putting in your Wi-Fi password and your region and all that stuff, and then using the QR code scanner on your phones with the handy app, scanning that QR code, binding it to your account if you already have one. I've already got multiple printers, so it's real easy. You just bind it to your account. It did make me update the handy app before it would let me bind this printer though. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you get something out of it. If you did, give me a little thumbs up, and we'll catch you on the next one. Happy printing.